What better way to start my crazy video making than to kick it off with a full-on roast? I'm just gonna jump right in because this is a topic that bothers the almighty snot out of me. Okay, if you're the oddball that actually doesn't like singing, I'm just gonna tell you you're not alone. I absolutely hate singing. I just freaking hate it. There's almost nothing to really like about it. Yes, I listen to music, especially pop and whatnot, but the singing has nothing to do with it. I'm not talking about specific genres of singers, I'm not talking exclusively about certain singers. I'm talking about singing in general, as well as everything I've heard about singing. Let me just start with the primary reason I never liked singing, the sound. If you got misophonia, you can probably relate. I cannot stand the noises required to have a good singing voice. I don't believe the voice should be able to sing at all. I don't see it as an instrument. I believe it should only be for speaking. I don't like singing or humming. It drives me up the fricking wall. It just sounds like you're being murdered. And I'm not talking bad singer, I'm saying this about good singers. Everyone who can sing sounds like their vocal cords are being forced to make those sounds, no matter how natural people say it is. It doesn't sound natural to me at all. Only those who can't sing at all sound natural to me because they're mostly talking more than singing. To me, instrumental music is beautiful most of the time, while vocal music is torture most of the time. I never sing. I haven't sung in years because I hated it that much. With that said, let me go to the next thing I believe about singing: it just sounds like it hurts and I feel like it should hurt. Alright, vocal coaches are gonna hate this, but I don't believe there is any such thing as healthy singing. It's just an all-out risky thing to do with your voice. Not only does it sound painful, especially with riffs, runs, high pitches, belting, and vibrato, but I have experienced pain of my own when I did sing. And that's with applying the stuff I've heard vocal coaches say you should do to avoid pain when singing. It's just not frigging possible. Singing ruins your voice, period. That's all it does, is just break down your delicate little vocal cords that deserve so much better. There is no such thing as a healthy singer or a healthy singing voice. I think that stuff is a huge lie, and anyone who believes in healthy singing have just desensitized themselves to the inevitable stress and strain singing does to your vocal cords. Those who believe in healthy singing have to be just that good at blocking the pain from their minds. I swear. It always sounded painful to me, but I've confirmed it is painful. Think about all these singers who hurt their voices, especially those who underwent surgery. Adele may never go back to singing again. She's had 2 injuries within just a few years of each other. The second one happened in spite of her best efforts to take care of her voice. Yeah, I know she was still a heavy belter even then, but still. Honestly, the only healthy singer is a non-existent singer, or at best, a horrible singer who has no tunage whatsoever. If all you can do is talk and you absolutely have to rely on auto-tune to sing even somewhat better, you're the healthiest singer you can possibly be. Not to mention the vocal coaches who say any sound you make when you sing can be done in a healthy way and not damage your voice, even whistle register. Oh bull crap! If that were true, we wouldn't have all the major stars who have vocal injuries, and I wouldn't have any vocal problems at all. I had no vocal problems before trying to sing. When I did sing, my vocal problems went up from 0 to 7. I was often hoarse, tired, and couldn't get my speaking voice to function as effortlessly and naturally as it had done before. While my problems went down since I stopped singing, and thank God I never needed to go to the doctor or get surgery or anything like that. However, it has had some permanent effects on my voice that I cannot take back. It ruined my voice just a little bit. Speaking of health, I entirely disagree with the hype about singing being healthy for you, healthy for your body, your mind, your heart, and your voice. Oh, please. It's all a big fat joke. If it was healthy for your voice, as I said, it wouldn't weaken or ruin people's voices as it does. Someone said to me one day singing helps you live longer. What proof do you have? Seriously, what's your source on that? I honestly think I could go the rest of my life and never sing again and probably live to be 80 plus and still be happy. One article said people who sing are happier and healthier than those who don't. Again, where is that coming from? You gotta take into consideration the other stuff these people do to be happy and healthy. Sure, singing probably releases the amazing endorphins and dopamine we all have when we're happy. But guess what? So does laughter, running, writing, and dancing. You don't need to sacrifice your voice for that dopamine/endorphin release. MMHMMM. Also, if singing makes you a better listener, explain why the worst listeners I've ever met in my life are those I hear singing most often. They may listen to themselves all they want, but they won't listen to you. If it's really supposed to make you happy, well, it makes me angry. Sometimes, I just wanted to cut out my vocal cords so I can't make those gosh awful noises ever again. Singing makes me so angry, sometimes it even makes me unbelievably anxious, and it's even made me embarrassed that the concept and act of singing even exists. It makes you more positive and improves mental health. Oh, go stuff yourself in a stocking. My most negative thoughts happen either when I sing a lot or hear other people sing a lot. Also, there are a lot of famous singers out there whose singing ability has not saved them from mental health problems. Look at many of the big rock stars. Look at Gaga and Katy Perry. I've watched a lot of videos and read a lot of articles on singing and mental health and nothing adds up. If singing makes you kinder and more empathic, it didn't do that for many of the pop stars and rock stars I've listened to over the years. No one credits singing for the reason they're so nice or the reason they overcame their addictions or the reason they are always so positive. Come on, people. If singing makes you a better speaker, it still requires sacrificing your tone quality. If you're okay with that, go ahead. But you are living a lie. All this health hype around singing doesn't even remotely add up, and I've certainly not experienced any of the health benefits. Not only do singers drive me up a wall, but so do these dang vocal coaches. A few years back, in an effort to understand a little more about why I sang like I did and how to, maybe, keep it from hurting my voice, I did learn more about how belting, vibrato, and runs work and all that, and I did try to understand how these may have value, but to no avail. I went down a rabbit hole of research, especially from sources from world-class vocal coaches, and I really did try to look at singing differently, but it just never worked. People have tried a million times to reassure me that singing doesn't have to hurt or ruin your voice if you do it right and take care of yourself, but nothing they've said has helped. I've heard it from those vocal coaches, from family and friends, but to no avail. I know I probably sound as closed-minded as heck, but I'm really not. However, when it comes to singing, nothing has ever been able to change my mind. I've done my own independent research for a good couple years and have been curious, but nothing has changed about how I feel. Another thing that has totally turned me off over singing is the fact that my concern for singers' voices makes it impossible for me to listen to anyone sing live. I can mostly handle listening to my favorite songs as their original studio recordings, but that's because I know they've been tuned and all that. But I cannot handle live performances, not even good ones. And I fricking hate those goddamn talent shows, The Voice, American Idol, and even the singing acts on America's Got Talent. My gosh, these things are the death of me. Not only can't I handle the live singing performances, but between those talent shows and that screeching, glass-shattering eardrum murderer Mariah Carey, everybody's got a freaking show off now. It's not enough to have basic pitch control skills anymore. To be a good singer, you gotta do all the embellishments, you gotta be able to riff, squeal, belt, sing as high as you possibly can. Also, if you don't have vibrato in your singing voice, you're considered an unhealthy singer, on top of not being that good. Vibrato is considered an essential healthy singing technique, and I'm just like, but I'm so tired of hearing that weird warbling and quivering stuff in people's voices. What about people who don't want to hear that crap? Nobody cares. I'm telling you, between these shows and the troubling amount of showy flashy pop stars, oversinging and over-embellishing is the norm now, and it's a freaking disease. Yuck this! If it's not bad enough that adult singers are going too far, I have had the misfortune of hearing more and more kids with those pro singer voices these days. I've met some and seen many on talent shows, and it just makes me sick. They can do the embellishments and they can make that professional sound while their vocal cords are still developing and much more delicate. No child is ever supposed to be able to sing like that. It's not safe. I can remember a time when most kids I heard singing were amateur and either had very little tunage or at best, basic pitch control skills and limited vocal range. That's how kids are meant to sing. It's safer than what many are doing right now. Children born with great voices are at the greatest risk for vocal damage earlier in life than anyone else. Seriously. Earlier this year, someone was listening to this 10-year-old opera singer on America's Got Talent, and I was absolutely traumatized by it. While putting in every effort to not throw up the amazing dinner I'd just had before listening to that, I had a voice in my head screaming, "Her voice is gonna die 20 years before she does." And guess what? I believe that. Yep. Everybody loved that little singer, but I looked at her as a serial ear killer. Oh my gosh! There are no innocent amateur child singers anymore. It doesn't help that I found out there is a kids edition of The Voice. No, oh no 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 no. No! What the flying ferret fart? We're happily murdering children's voices on top of adults' voices. This is so not okay. I could give you a million reasons not to sing. I seriously could. But I know we're not gonna just stop singing. So if you're going to sing, don't take lessons and don't get good at it. But if you are going to do it as a career, here's what I suggest. First of all, you don't need much embellishing at all. Find a healthy way to sing without vibrato, make songs that are expressive, but do not require any licks and trills, or very minimal licks and trills. You don't need to be loud to be good. You can sing softly or at moderate volume and still sound good. If you know something hurts your voice, don't freaking do it. Focus on the very basics, breath control, pitch control, and phrasing, and those basic things, and use them in healthy ways. Forget about singing live. Just lip sync to your backing tracks. The auto-tuned you will always be better than the real voice. Also, it's okay if virtual singers, Vocaloids and all that, take over the vocal music side of things because they can't be hurt. I actually do prefer virtual singers over real ones. And finally, you don't need to sing for your health and happiness. There are other things you can do. Look 'em up. And please, for the love of the universe, don't freaking let your kids on the singing talent shows and save the singer career bullcrap for when their voices are already fully developed. And if they're a child pro singer, I'm afraid you'll have to discourage the use of their professional voice and teach them to stick only to a basic, limited range singing style until their vocal cords are at least fully mature. Let them know it's for vocal health reasons. If you, like me, hate the sound of singing and need a break even from your favorite songs, instrumental music is your BFF. Keep the instrumental versions handy for when you need to limit your exposure to singing. It helps so much. Instrumental music is your best friend when vocal music gets on your dang nerves. If you live with or regularly interact with someone who doesn't like singing, please don't try to fix them. If they say don't sing, don't freaking sing. Do it far away so they can't hear you, for both your guys' well-being. If you live with someone who can't stand singing and you're the singing type, sorry to tell ya, but you're gonna have to keep it to a minimum. If you can't accept that person doesn't like you singing around them, get help doing so because that person ain't changing for you ever. Get to know that person's feelings and views around singing, and do not tell them what to do about it unless they ask. Work something out between you guys so no one's happiness is being interfered with. If you like to sing, don't insist on being friends with people who hate your singing. People who hate singing, try to avoid being friends with singers as much as possible. Either find out how to coexist or stay in your freaking lane. Protect your voices and your ears please.